In a matter of seconds, a single moment can change the way millions perceive two superstars. The camera never truly stands still. It captures the little things that often go unnoticed, and that's precisely where the story begins. A glance, a hand gesture, or a split-second pause can become the subject of endless speculation. And this time, all eyes were on Song Weilong and Zhao Jinmai. The video itself is actually quite simple. There's no dramatic dialogue, no background music to accompany the atmosphere. Just two people standing in a single frame, sharing the same space at a public event. But that very simplicity is what makes it feel real, unscripted, undirected. In the clip, which has now circulated widely across various platforms, Song Weilong appears to make a small gesture. It's not something flashy, nor is it a grand gesture with obvious meaning. Yet, the gesture is enough to make many people stop, rewind, and begin to wonder. Zhao Jinmai, on the other hand, appears to respond in an equally subtle manner. It's not overly dramatic, but it's enough to provoke interpretation. Was it just a spontaneous reaction? Or was there something deeper, something only the two of them could understand? Fans quickly took over the narrative. Within hours, the video had been analyzed from various angles. Some slowed down the footage, zoomed in on facial expressions, and even compared it to their previous interactions. Some believed that body language never lies. They saw an inexplicable synchronicity, the way the two looked at each other, the comfortable distance, and the timing that seemed too good to be coincidence. But on the other hand, others tried to remain rational. The entertainment industry is indeed full of public interactions that are easily misinterpreted. A small gesture could be simply politeness or professional habit in front of the camera. Song Weilong himself is known as an actor with a calm yet charismatic aura. In his various drama projects, he often plays characters full of hidden emotions, and perhaps for some fans, that makes his every move feel more meaningful. Meanwhile, Zhao Jinmai has built a reputation as a talented young actress with natural and sincere expressions. She is able to convey emotions without overdoing it, something that makes many people relate to each of her roles. When two energies like these meet, it's natural for the public to sense a chemistry. Even off-screen, their interactions often seem warm and comfortable, something that's hard to ignore. This viral moment isn't the first time the two have been mentioned together. They've been spotted together on several occasions before, though there's never been any official confirmation of their personal relationship. However, it's precisely this ambiguity that makes this story all the more intriguing. Without confirmation, without denial, the room for interpretation remains wide open, and fans are happy to fill it with theories. Some say this is simply fan service, part of the dynamics of the entertainment industry designed to keep the public's attention. But others believe that some things can't be engineered, especially when it involves spontaneous expressions. Interestingly, the smaller the moment, the greater its impact. A gesture that might last only a second or two has now sparked a lengthy discussion involving thousands of comments and in-depth analysis. This phenomenon also demonstrates how fan culture works in the digital age. Every detail matters. Every interaction becomes a story. And in many cases, public perception can expand far beyond the actual reality. Do Song Weilong and Zhao Jinmai realize the impact of this moment? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But what's clear is that the spotlight on them is now even more intense. Some fans hope for something more than a professional relationship. They see the potential for a real story behind the scenes, something that feels like a continuation of the dramas they're used to. Others, however, choose to simply enjoy the mystery. Not everything needs to be explained, and sometimes, uncertainty actually makes things more interesting. Ultimately, the truth of that moment may only be known by the two people directly involved. Whether it was mere coincidence, habit, or something more personal, all remains a question. And perhaps, therein lies its appeal. In a world saturated with instant information, a small mystery like this can make people pause, pay attention, and ask, what was really going on behind that gesture? Speculation continues to grow, even after the initial wave of discussion has subsided. Every time the video resurfaces on someone's feed, there's always a new detail that feels new to you. It's as if that brief moment holds layers of meaning that haven't yet been fully revealed. Some fans have begun connecting the incident to past interactions. They recall old interviews, behind-the-scenes footage, and even event clips that show the two together. Small patterns begin to form, forming a narrative that feels increasingly convincing to some. In the entertainment world, perception often becomes second nature. What the public believes can have as much impact as the facts themselves. In the case of song Weilong and Zhao Jinmai, these perceptions slowly formed a story that lives on in the minds of fans. Interestingly, there was no direct clarification from either party. There were no statements confirming or denying the allegations. This silence actually added fuel to an already heated discussion, because in many cases, silence can be interpreted in various ways. Some saw the silence as a sign of professionalism, that not everything needed to be explained to the public. But others saw it as a sign that something was being deliberately kept under wraps. Meanwhile, social media continued to play its role as a space for collective interpretation. Comments poured in, bringing varying perspectives. Some were romantic, some skeptical, and still others simply enjoyed the drama. This phenomenon also demonstrates how the relationship between celebrities and fans has changed. Now, fans are not just viewers, but also active observers who contribute to the narrative. They not only receive stories, but also create them. But beyond all this, it's important to remember that every individual has a personal life that isn't always visible in front of the camera. What's captured in a single moment doesn't necessarily reflect the entire relationship or true feelings. And ultimately, perhaps the answers to these questions will never truly be revealed. But precisely because of that, that small moment will live on, not as a definitive fact, but as a story that continues to be talked about, interpreted, and remembered. Over time, the moment slowly transformed from a viral clip into a part of fans' emotional archives. It was no longer just watched, but felt, as if a connection was being forged between the audience and the two figures on screen. Even for those who didn't initially follow Song Weilong or Zhao Jinmai, curiosity remained. There's something unique about witnessing an interaction that feels uncontrived. In an entertainment world often filled with scripts and controlled imagery, spontaneous moments like these feel more honest. And precisely because of that, they leave a deeper impression than perfectly staged scenes. However, every story built from fragments of reality always has its limits. What is seen doesn't always represent the whole. It might have been a truly simple moment, without the hidden meaning many imagined. But when thousands of people saw it in different ways, its meaning evolved. Ultimately, whether there was something more between them or not may no longer be the point. What remains is how one small second can unite the attention of so many people, trigger emotions, and create a story that lives on, even after the cameras stop rolling.